At 44 years old, my net worth was $2,200,000. I am 71 now, and I have $11,000 in my bank account. Not 11 million, not 1,100,000, 11,000. I didn't get robbed. I didn't get sick. Nobody scammed me. I did this myself. Over 27 years, one decision at a time, and the worst part, every single decision I made, I thought was the smart one at the time. That's what nobody tells you about losing everything. It doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. There's no single villain, no one big mistake. It happens quietly, slowly, one reasonable decision at a time, and it feels completely normal while it's happening. I am 71 years old. I have lived long enough to see exactly where I went wrong, and long enough to know that most of you watching this right now are somewhere I used to be. So sit with me for a few minutes, because what I'm about to tell you, I wish someone had told me at 38. Let's start from the beginning. I grew up with nothing. My parents worked hard their whole lives and still struggled. So when I started making real money in my late 30s, I promised myself my family would never feel what I felt growing up. That promise is what started everything. The first mistake was lifestyle creep, and I didn't even feel it happening. When my salary doubled, I told myself the extra money was going straight into savings, and I believed that. But then we moved to a bigger house because the neighborhood school was better, and the new house needed new furniture because the old stuff looked wrong in the new rooms. And then my wife, God bless her, wanted the kitchen done. And the kids started travel sports, and I leased a car I had no business leasing. Every single expense had a perfectly logical reason. That's the trap. Lifestyle creep doesn't feel like waste. It feels like progress. It feels like you've earned it. And by the time you realize what happened, your expenses have quietly grown to match every dollar you make. I went from saving 30% of my income to saving nothing. And I didn't notice for almost 4 years. Now here is what's scary about that. Even after I noticed, I still didn't stop, because stopping felt like going backward. And no man who worked as hard as I did wants to feel like he's going backward. So I kept going forward, spending forward, and the hole got deeper every single year. The second mistake, I trusted a man I didn't understand. My financial advisor was recommended by a colleague. He was sharp, well-dressed, spoke with confidence. He put my money into products I didn't fully understand. I asked questions. He gave me answers that sounded right. I nodded for 11 years. When the market shifted in 2008, I lost 40% of my portfolio in 8 months. And when I finally sat down and really looked at where my money was, I realized I had never truly known. If you cannot explain in simple words where your money is and why, that is not your advisor's problem. That is yours. I want you to pause right now and ask yourself that question. Where is your money, and why is it there? If you cannot answer that in 2 sentences, you have the same problem I had. Now those first 2 mistakes were painful, but I told you mistake number 3 was the one that cost me more than everything else combined. And I meant that. Stay with me, because I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. And I'm also going to tell you the 2 mistakes after it, because mistakes 4 and 5 are the ones I see most men your age making right now without even realizing it. Mistake number 3, and I want you to really hear this one: divorce. At 52 years old, I split everything I had built right down the middle. The house, the accounts, the investments. Everything I had spent 20 years building, divided in one legal process that took 8 months and cost me $47,000 in attorney fees alone. In 1 year, I went from financial security to starting completely over at 52. And I want to be very careful here, because I am not blaming my ex-wife. Not at all. What I am telling you is this. For years before the divorce, I could feel something was wrong in my marriage, and I did what a lot of men do. I told myself we were fine. I buried myself in work. I told myself providing for the family was the same as being present for the family. It wasn't. We went to counseling one time. It didn't feel comfortable, so we stopped. If your marriage is struggling right now, and some of you watching know exactly what I'm talking about, the most expensive thing you will ever do in your life is ignore it. 1 year of marriage counseling costs maybe $5,000. A divorce will cost you half of everything you have ever built, and that's before the emotional cost. That cost has no number. Fix it, whatever it takes. Fix it. The fourth mistake. I became my kid's bank. My son needed help with a down payment at 28. I helped. My daughter's business wasn't doing well at 31. I helped. My son again at 34. Between jobs, 2 kids of his own. I helped. Every time I told myself, this is the last time, and every time I meant it. I gave away nearly $340,000 to my adult children over 15 years, not in one check, in small amounts that felt manageable every single time. I don't regret loving them, but I should have loved them differently. A father's job is not to remove every obstacle from his children's path. It's to make sure they can handle obstacles without you. Because one day, you won't be here, and if you've spent 20 years being their safety net, they will fall the moment you're gone. I made them need me, and it cost both of us more than money. The fifth mistake, and this one is going to hit different for a lot of you watching. I kept my money sitting still, savings account, some CDs, a little bit in a 401k I barely looked at. I thought I was being responsible. I thought safe was smart. While I was being safe, inflation was eating my money alive. Every year my savings were worth a little less, and a little less, and a little less. Money that doesn't move dies slowly. Not dramatically, just slowly, quietly. The same way everything in this story happened. I should have been investing consistently from my 30s. Index funds, real estate, anything that compounds and grows over time. Instead, I watched my savings lose real value for 2 decades, while telling myself I was doing the right thing. Safe isn't smart. Safe is just slow loss. Now, I've told you all 5 mistakes, but here is what I haven't told you yet. There were specific things, simple, practical things, that I wish I had done instead. And I'm going to give you all 5 of them right now, because this video isn't just about what went wrong. It's about what you can do differently starting tomorrow. I'm not telling you all of this because I want your sympathy. I really don't. I've made my peace with the life I lived. I have good days. I have my health. I have people I love. I'm okay. But I think about the men watching this who are 38, or 42, or 45, who are working hard, providing for their families, telling themselves they'll sort the money stuff out later. He was that man, and I want to reach back through time and grab him by the shoulders and say, later is not a plan. So here are the 5 things I would do differently if I woke up tomorrow at 38 years old. First, every time your income goes up, your savings rate goes up first. Not your lifestyle, not your car, not your house. Savings first, non-negotiable. Every single raise, every bonus, every extra dollar. A percentage goes directly to savings before you see it, before you touch it, before you even think about it. Second, never put money anywhere you cannot explain in one simple sentence. If you cannot say exactly where your money is and exactly why it's there, move it until you can. Complexity in finance almost always benefits the person selling you the product, not you. Third, your marriage is a financial decision as much as it is a love decision. I know that sounds cold. It isn't. It's just true. Invest in your marriage the same way you invest in your career. Time, attention, resources, whatever it needs, because the return on a strong marriage is everything, and the cost of a broken one is more than most men ever recover from. Fourth, love your kids by building their strength. not by removing their struggle. Help them learn, help them grow. But don't write the checks that teach them they never have to figure it out themselves. The greatest thing you can give your children is not money. It's the confidence that they can handle life without you. Fifth, put your money to work from the day you have it. Not when you feel ready, not when the market feels right, not when life settles down. It never settles down. The right time to invest was the day you got your first real paycheck. The second best time is today. Open the account. Start small if you have to, but start. I started this channel because I'm 71 years old, and I have a lot of time, and a lot of truth, and not enough people in my life who want to hear it. So I'm going to sit here every week and tell it to you instead. Because you are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not too busy. You just need someone who has already walked the road to tell you where the holes are. I've walked it. I know where every single hole is. I'll see you next week.